Today I'm going to be reviewing a recent release from Zondervan. This is the NIV Timeline Bible, a chronological study through Scripture. And it says it was previously published as the NIV Integrated Study Bible, which I'm not familiar with that one. So I'm not sure when that was out or anything, but I haven't even heard of that one actually. So I was really excited to get my hands on this and check it out. So, little information on the back of the box here. It says, journey through time as you read the Bible and see the beautiful and intricate interconnectedness of Scripture from Genesis to Revelation. Experience Scripture seamlessly arranged in chronological order with parallel and conceptually related passages side by side. Genres are indicated by colors and weave together to tell the greatest story from different perspectives. Easily navigate the narrative of God's people through full-color timelines on each page. Maps are included in each sectional introduction. Set in a chronologically based format, this Bible will open your eyes to the way that the Bible reflects upon itself throughout its pages. But it's more than just a chronological Bible. It's also a synchronization of the Bible that puts parallel passages side by side. Passages of Scripture and individual events are arranged in their sequential order. And when there are multiple versions of an event, these stories are told side by side, connecting the dots to open up deeper understanding as you read the different accounts together. All right, so the features of this Bible, it's the NIV translation. Passages of Scripture are arranged chronologically. Texts are arranged in sections for each of the 6 biblical eras. Each section contains helpful information about the biblical chronology and timing, outline of world events occurring during this time, maps and timelines. Parallel and conceptually related passages are arranged side by side in columns. Color-coded genre rules label each passage of Scripture. There's a timeline at the bottom of each page that gives historical context to biblical text. It has a full-color interior, 2 satin ribbon markers. The words of Jesus are in red. We're going to have a leather soft cover that lies flat when it's open, which is a sewn binding. Comfort print, and the font size is 9. All right, so it comes in a nice box here. I'm going to try to get that out without totally shaking the camera. It also comes in a hardcover, I believe, as well. I love the feel of this leather soft cover. It feels really soft and nice. Clear my throat. I did just get over being sick. I said this in another video. I probably will be fine by the time I post this video. I feel totally fine, but I've been sitting here recording a bunch of videos and my voice is like, nope, you shouldn't be doing that. So here we are. Anyway, the spine has NIV Timeline Bible, NIV and Zondervan. It has perimeter stitching, gold page gilding. I don't believe I untucked my ribbons yet. So let's go ahead and do that. We have like a kind of a gold color and a brown, it looks like. There we go. All right, so you have a paste down liner that has our genre key right here. They're color coded. Different genres are apocalyptic vision, covenant law, dialogue, historical narrative, letter, wisdom poetry, parable, prophecy, proverb, speech, and song. All right, we're going to have a table of contents. Books of the Bible in alphabetical order, an introduction to the NIV Timeline Bible. Talks a lot about the features I just told you about. So definitely check that out when you first get the Bible so you know everything that's in here. Introduction to the literary tools of the NIV Timeline Bible. Another article you're going to want to check out before you start using it. It explains the different genres and what they are and the color coding system. And my fingers have decided they're done turning pages. It's a slight problem. This is a preface to the NIV. And then we're going to get into the Old Testament. Okay, so we start with creation through the patriarchs and Exodus to conquest. Okay, so you're going to get an introduction to these genres before you get into the actual Scripture. At the bottom of the page, we're going to have that timeline. You kind of keep track of where you're at in the Bible. Biblical history timeline. I love the full color here. Historical events of note during the time of creation through conquest. We have a map of the settings of Genesis. All right, and here we are in Genesis. So we start out here with a nice map of Exodus and conquest of Canaan. We have a single column layout, 9-point font. Again, that timeline at the bottom of each page telling you where you're at. I love the layout of this. I love single column Bibles, so I think that has something to do with it. But I just think the way like the line spacing and everything is with this, it's so super readable. Like this is another one that, like, as soon as I got it, I was like, come on, Zondervan. Like, I don't need another Bible I want to read through. Like, I have so many plans going on and so many Bibles. I'm still trying to get through the NLT Chronological Life Application Study Bible, which is going to take me till I'm like 99 years old at this point. You know, I'm doing a read through of the NASB. Now I want to read this one too. Like, come on. I may have to hold this for a little bit because obviously I'm only one human and I'm not going to be able to read all this and still, you know, eat, work, you know, all those things that are kind of important. But, you know, I love this. Like, this made me really excited. I really want to use it. It's chronological, so I can't really use it for like going to church or my studies or anything. So I feel like with chronological Bibles, I almost have to just do a read through because that's about the only thing that you can really, in my mind, really use them for. I mean, I guess you could look up specific like books or passages and use it that way. So maybe I'll do that. But I really want to read through this one now. So she might have to wait for a little bit. I might have to hold this one back on my shelf for a little bit until I get through some other stuff. But she's going to get read through at some point because I like this. So here we see some of the passages side by side. When they're parallel, they're going to put them side by side. So I love that too. So you're not like, because sometimes when you're doing a read through the Bible, you might read the same thing 2 or 3 times. And I like how they have it side by side so you can see, oh, this is parallel and it's going to be the same here. But I love this layout. This would be the perfect Bible to do a read through in. Not that I need anything else to read right now, like I said, but if you're not doing a read-through currently and you're not as crazy as I am trying to do a million things, pick this up because you're going to love it. All right, let's skip around a little bit here. I like how it has a timeline at the bottom of the page. Here are some more parallel passages side by side, like in Leviticus and Numbers, Deuteronomy, Festival of Tabernacles, to be exact. But I like that timeline at the bottom of the page so you can kind of see where you're at in the timeline of Scripture as you're doing a read-through. This is also a Bible, too, it's not like, there's not a lot of extras and distractions. I say distractions with love because, I mean, I love study Bibles and different things that have all those distractions in them. But it also is good for a read-through because it's not going to be, you're not going to get hung up on a lot of study notes and other things. I like that about the NLT Life Application Chronological Bible, but I will admit it's going to take me forever because of all those extras, and I mean, I like that. I wanted that. That's why I chose it. I like reading all those study notes, but if you're like, I want to read Scripture, I don't want all this extra stuff, it's going to take a lot more time and distract me and, you know, make me take 10 years to read through the Bible. This one doesn't have that. So that might be something that some people really love, maybe some people don't love so much. But if you're just wanting to do a chronological read through of Scripture, you know where you're at in the Bible with the timeline and have those parallel passages together, this one's great. And I do need to do a read through of the NIV. It's another translation I have not read through. I read through most of the major translations. I'm working on NASB. I haven't done NIV. I'm currently listening to it through Tim Wildsmith's podcast, but I've not actually read through the whole thing. So this would be a good Bible to do that in. All right, when you get to the New Testament passages, as you can see here, it is a red letter text. Red letter's pretty well done. I prefer black letter, but I have no problem with it as long as it's not going to, burn my eyes, which this one does not. Zondervan tends to do a pretty good job with their red letter, so I figured it wouldn't be an issue. All right, so then let's go to the end here. All right, at the end of the Bible, we are going to get a table of weights and measures. We're going to get a scripture index. If you're looking for a specific passage of scripture, it does give you the page number so you can find it easily. And then we're going to get maps, some lined paper for notes, and then we're at the end of the Bible. So I really like this. I love the single column. I love how it's laid out. I like that timeline at the bottom of every page. I like how it's a chronological read through, but there's not like a lot of extras, that is going to distract you from the scripture. And I think this would be an excellent Bible to do a read through of the NIV translation. So if you're interested in reading through the NIV, chronologically especially, this would be a really good option. Now, because it is chronological and has parallel passages together as well, it's not going to be one you're going to be able to take to church and follow the typical order of a Bible, a study Bible, or a Bible in general. But it would be a good Bible for a read through, or if you're looking through that looking to do a chronological look at the Bible. So again, this is the NIV Timeline Bible, and this is another one that's going to go on my docket of wanting to be read through. There's so many, but this one's really great, and I really do want to take a closer look at this soon.